Good day and welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Shola Rogers.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG, and we're coming live from our studios in Lagos State, and we're here, to give you a very interesting bar today. It's been a very interesting few days, and we definitely want to bring a lot of these things to you. Shout out to Nigerians generally, because I thought that it was just Lagos and Abuja, but the are saying that is a lot more. A lot of these other states are beginning to feel the pinch of the fuel scarcity, and for the first time, I think people are not as outraged. Let me put it like that. People are not as outraged by fuel scarcity for the first time in a long time. It's not about some strike, which is why I don't know why people are not angry. I don't know, but we've heard reports of how we know that fuel scarcity is caused by a batch of fuel that was adulterated. Specifically, I think that it has methanol or something in it that really literally just got really bad, and it actually has been spoiling a lot of people's cars that we know.
There are more questions than answers. The thing for me is, let's start from the beginning. Let's take it from the top. How did this bad fuel get into Nigeria? Whose job is it to regulate
Quality control?
The importation of such products? Why is it that it was after you have started damaging people's vehicles?
Exactly my point.
Know?
Like, and
should this particular batch of fuel be so much that it's causing fuel scarcity across the nation? These are the questions.
I even thought, the funny thing is that, like you said, there are a few things that this actually brings up. For me, I thought that NNPC always claimed that they had reserves and all that. So, whatever reserve you have should be the way reserves work is what the oldest batch you have that we should be using up. So, are they saying that this batch had come a while ago and they didn't know? Is that what they're saying?
No.
Those
are the questions.
For me, I don't know why there's some things that we don't do. Left to me, I think that it is high time we need to start suing people. I think NNPC needs to be sued. People's cars.
Class action.
People's cars, not even just cars. People are losing man hours. People are losing the man hours having to queue.
Yeah.
For fuel.
So the thing is, everybody's going to take it, we move, you get. But if you've been affected by this, I think it's high time you actually took it up.
Honestly, I don't know how it is supposed to happen, but I feel that some people's heads need to roll.
I agree.
It affects the whole country. Like, it might not affect the whole country, but take Lagos, for example. Lagos is not by far, is officially the busiest, the most populous state in the country. It's one of the largest economies in the whole of Africa. And then it is now the state that there is already transport issues. There is already issues of money for transport or transport fares and all that being exorbitant. The cost is already high. I'm sorry, I can imagine people that are taking public transport for the past 2-3 days. I can imagine how exorbitant those prices will be.
Those guys don't waste time, right?
Oh, they don't. I can imagine how exorbitant it will be. I can imagine how difficult it will also be to get, like...
Let me clarify what I meant by those guys. I mean the operators of public transport.
Public transport, yeah.
Especially the mini vans, the buses. Because we're using this language because of people who are not Nigerian who might watch and be like, which one is downfall? Like this.
The yellow and black buses. Yeah, those ones. That
they don't waste time.
I really feel for everybody that's really on public transport. Is really, I can imagine how hellish it will be.
So I had to leave home early today. On the 6 o'clock hour, I stepped out to buy fuel. The 2 filling stations that I went to, the first one starts selling fuel at 6. Because the scarcity, they weren't selling. Oh, they said they were just dispensing the fuel that they just got. I'm like, all right, perfect timing, right? But normally these guys would have opened at 6 and they are begging people to come and buy fuel. 6:30. I was there till 6:37, 6:38. Then I went to another one, and that one, the attendants had people on the queue, sold to one car and walked away. Then someone went to talk to them. I don't know what he said or gave them. They sold to that car again and disappeared again. So I was on that queue and I'm like, oh, we're back to those days.
It's that time.
Where fuel attendants are
the truth.
demigods.
The truth is that at this time of the day, the bus drivers, the fuel attendants, they're the ones that people they're messy. Now everybody
they have all the power.
They have all the power in the world, and it's a very, very sad thing. So I feel that we're in 2022. Thankfully, we have not had fuel scarcity in a number of years.
Yeah,
so I think that it's people are actually almost forgetting what it feels like, and then we're back to it. And it's not because somebody is on strike or something. There's a bad batch of fuel.
So not to sound like a broken record, because we talked about it here. Why is it that when things go wrong, we don't know who's behind it?
Yeah. You never know.
You never find out.
You just hear. All we see is federal government, NNPC.
FG says
like
this. NNPC says that. How come there's nobody?
There's no name.
That is going to be.
There are names that people that are involved directly with these things.
We need to start doing that, and when you do that, the person should pay one way or the other.
Yes, because take for example.
And the next person will take his job serious.
Exactly.
But when they know that there are no consequences, they'll keep doing this thing because basically someone slept on this or someone got paid to look the other way. And now you've damaged people's cars and all of that. So for me, if your car has been involved in any way, it's time you took it off.
It's not just your car. You've been in fuel queues. Mm-hmm. You had to pay more money to transport yourself. All those things.
Even to buy the fuel now, so the fuel attendants have started adding money to it.
Everything. So everybody, let's be honest ourselves, even at the already high price of food in the country, that this is definitely going to cost.
Is an integral part of.
This is definitely going to cost major
from point A to point B.
Major increase in all these things as well. So we know how these things are. There's nobody that can say that this has not affected them in any way. Yeah. There's nobody. So we need answers. That's the problem. As of today, now the federal government has said, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, has said that at least 6 vessels ordered by the NNPC have arrived the country. They're saying it's about 300 million liters of PMS, and this is supposed to close the gap caused by the already contaminated fuel that has been withdrawn.
You know, one thing crossed my mind before we came to the bar. Mm-hmm. The bad fuel, the bad batch of fuel, whatever quantity it is, what happens to it? What are they going to do?
Disposed.
How? Does it ever cross your mind? Or did it cross your mind?
It didn't. It honestly
How are they going
not.
to dispose of it?
It honestly did not.
What are they going to do? Burn it? Where? How?
It honestly did not.
Pour it into the sea?
You know,
and destroy aquatic life? What exactly are they going to do with this bad batch?
It's a very, very sad thing, because according to them, the story is that the PMS has methanol in it, which is not supposed to be in it. It's supposed to be refined. I will still keep going back to it, that who ordered this thing? How did it get into the country? And I think that one of the things that this thing needs to, we can mitigate this thing, at least to a large extent, is it still boils down to the fact that we're importing fuel.
Yeah. Anyways, this is sad, and we're hoping that this will become a changing.
I think that's
it's not always the political speak that we get. Federal government is looking into it. NNPC will clamp down. We don't see anything at the end of the day. We don't hear anything, and I'm glad my car is not involved. But I'm saying that maybe it's time someone actually took it up.
Yeah.
And really went all the way with them. Maybe that will make them sit up, because we can't keep doing this.
We definitely can't.
We just can't keep doing this.
We definitely can't. Shout out to everybody that has been in the queue, that their car's been affected. It's a very sad thing, but hopefully we hope that this thing stops in a few days' time. Hopefully it stopped in a few days' time, and we don't. And like I said, for me, I think the bottom line is maybe until we stop importing fuel as an oil-producing country. Until that day, maybe just maybe we'll stop having this kind of conversations.
And recently, I don't know, maybe you talked about these headlines today. The NSCDC actually.
Oh yeah, they had busted about eight illegal modular refineries. Yeah, it means that somebody somewhere is stealing crude.
And it still gets sold into
and
the
it still
system.
get definitely gets. It's part of those fuel that, of course, is most likely not refined properly.
Because the modular refineries were just probably some contraptions. The real popular modular refineries, like they have in Edo and Imo or somewhere, those ones will work well because they'll keep the standards and all. We still need to increase our capacity for refining fuel, though.
We definitely
and its byproducts.
Yeah, we definitely do. And you know what I was talking about? I said something in passing about bus drivers and buses and all that. So the Lagos State is in the news again. Looks like Lagos State is really in on this. Is really clamping down on a lot of them. And Lagos State has officially banned the use of amplifiers, microphones, and megaphones at motor parks. This is said to reduce noise pollution in the environment. You know, the funny thing is, there's a particular motor park that immediately I saw this story that comes to my mind. And it is the one by, if you're leaving Mushin, yeah, on your right, like you're going to Oyo State.
Okay.
That's Agege Motor Road. There is it's like a proper motor park, but there is so much noise that comes out of that. Like that was the picture that my mind went to, like straight, like, wow, this thing is actually going to stop. And I've seen it a lot. It's everywhere.
So picture Challenge bus stop in or Challenge Park in Ibadan. Picture Oyo State bus stop in Lagos. Picture Bridgehead or Nisha or any other place that you've been to where they have bus parks, and this noise. We seem to have taken it as a normal thing.
But the truth
is,
notice that it's very common in Lagos compared to a lot of other places.
It's not a Lagos thing, but I don't even want us to dwell on the part that is common or not. I was actually going somewhere we said that, you know, I know not everybody can read, but with proper directional signs, you know, and you know, some kind of branding, you will know where to get on a bus at whatever price. You know, so you get to that Ojota Park, as big as it is, you already know where to get the Ekiti cars.
There are already like signs all over. Yeah, that's true. Thinking of it, in Ojota, nobody says anything. Just go look for. Worst case, there's always somebody walking around that you can ask.
You know, so maybe with color coding and other simple things, you can actually say, this is where to get it, and this is the
now
cost.
That you actually made it, there are examples of where this noise is not there and this park still works.
So the only noise you get to hear, of course, is there's some guy that sells CDs.
Yeah,
which will have to play his music at a lower decibel so that it does not constitute.
Yeah,
noise
yeah.
pollution.
I think that it's
I saw a
crazy.
mug. I saw a mug on Twitter last week. And it's a white mug with green and white letterings, and it says, "I'm not shouting. I'm in Nigerian."
Nigeria, yeah, I saw that thing. Like, it's almost our way.
So
It's our way. Oh God,
during
we're
the
so
height,
used
during
to
the height
making
of
noise.
people bashing Nigerians on Twitter in recent times, the foundational,
Black Americans.
foundational confused guy, and all the other people, yeah. Someone said, "Look, you can't blame Nigerians." It sounded like he was trying to defend us. I think the guy is Ghanaian. But you see, with the generator noise and everything, they have to shout. I said, "Oh my God,
Oh my
it's
God.
not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault." South Africa that used to have 24/7, like, maybe they started load shedding a few years ago. Yeah, breakfast. It will be served. Don't worry, Ghana will chop his own breakfast very soon.
Oh my God.
Hey, Ghanaians, I don't mean it literally. Like, it's just joke. It's banter. But don't be coming at us with generator. We know we have generator noise.
Don't be trying that.
Is it your generator noise? Leave our noise
noise.
for us. But that thing hits me hard. I'm like, if I catch this person, I should give him a blow or two. Because again, typical of average Nigerian, you're gonna catch them shouting, and that's not the way it should be. So it's still the Boomba or your Boom Radio NG. I think the local had to step up quickly for one reason or the other. I hope she's fine though, because that's live. This is live TV and all. So we're still talking about things that's happened, and she brought up the topic of Lagos State, who are now clamping down on parks, bus parks, car parks, and whatever park you could think of. Because you always wonder, I don't know if you guys wonder, I always do, like, why do you have to shout? Why do you have to shout destinations? Like, again, the way they go about it is like, if you're going to one particular part of Lagos, because the route the bus is going to go through is maybe your way, you have to listen up, because the guy is going to go mention about 4, 5, 6, 7 stops at the same time. So maybe the guy just goes, Agege Motor Road, Oshodi, Agege Motor Road. So if you don't hear what the guy is saying, you don't know where you're going. But with a little bit of training, a little bit of reorientation, we can still get these things done without noise pollution. And that will be an amazing thing to do, because that's the only way I see how, we can get by without making noise. And if we reduce the noise pollution, at least then we need to tackle the other pollutions. And there's still noise pollution coming from the way people use their horns. Now, I don't know where you're watching us from or listening to us from. In Lagos, the way people put their hands on their car horns, oh my God, they will go at it. Someone sees a friend on the road or in traffic, ping, ping, and that adds to the noise pollution too. Then you need to understand how people think that the horn is like a way of communicating or talking, not what the car manufacturer intended it for. So these bus drivers, especially at the largest corporates, although private car owners are also culpable. Sorry, Doluko. I hope you're all right though. So noise pollution goes beyond even the noise that is generated by the people in the parks who are shouting. The people who are driving with their horns, putting their hands on the horn every time.
Tell me about
anything that they see, even when they fly passes.
But that people used to greet each other and also, oh God.
I even know some of my friends that had this greeting. There's a meaning. He has a Yoruba meaning. So there are different things, but if we all work together on these things, honestly, we actually will increase the quality of life. Because why do we need to make noise?
Yeah,
you can communicate better when you don't shout.
It's sad, but I think it's actually a Nigerian thing. It's a very.
Then maybe I'm not full Nigerian. Then.
It's because
I need to go and do a DNA thing and check.
Let's take away.
Maybe I'm just.
Wait, let's take away the horn. Yeah.
Mm.
And you're on the road, you're in your house, and then you can hear someone on the road, or you hear people phone calls, they are making noise. I'm like, why do we need to increase our volume to this level? Somebody is selling music, in fact, our Nigerian way of advertising or showing the whole neighborhood that you're a new store is to make noise.
But instinctively, there's some things that we do. This is not really related, but I just wanted to chip it in. You're communicating with someone, then you remove your glasses so you could hear better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay. So when you remove your glasses, is it that the the volume will increase or what? Or maybe someone is saying something. I saw someone remove a mask once, and I was like, okay, why you remove?
Why you? I get it, but no. But we actually make a lot of noise. A lot of noise.
So moving away from
let's move away from noise pollution generally.
Meanwhile, Lagos State recently launched its own cab hailing service.
Yeah, I saw
Cars.
I saw that.
And I've seen a lot of people bash them for it. People are saying, why are they doing that? The roads are not adequate. We already have enough cars on the road and everything. And I said to myself, it's good to criticize. We get all of this. Mm-hmm. But do you not see the larger picture of what they are trying to achieve?
Trying to take out. Isn't it better if I will take public transport?
They're talking about first mile and last mile vehicles. Mm-hmm. So they're also bringing in buses, mini buses, that will convey people from maybe their residence to the train stations and bus stations.
I'm even
That's
wondering.
The plan.
I'm wondering, like,
that's the plan.
I get it that a lot of people, like, it's our way of being woke these days, of trying to criticize almost everything.
Why you bringing all these cars on the road?
My question is, do people like the terrible buses that they get into? Like, I'm almost like, it's like people enjoy the condition of these things.
Dilapidated buses.
I'm lost. I'm actually like lost, because I saw it on Twitter and I saw a lot of people going off, and I'm like, okay, where do you come from? If I don't have to take my car out, and I know that I'm going from point A to point B in a comfortable cab,
yeah,
I don't have to drive. Why not?
The truth,
because I'm lost.
The truth, there's still space for more cab hailing services. That's the truth.
So where is the?
Are you saying now that, say for instance, I come up with my own, or we come up with our own cab hailing system, we're not allowed to?
Is it not the same system, or are you stopping people from buying cars?
I don't know, Sha. I know it's good to criticize and everything, but all I saw was people really bashing and saying, why are they bringing more cars? But these cars are a part of an entire system. You know, somebody was even talking about why they were not developing rails and waterways, and I'm like, okay, which planet? Are you on?
Are you sure you are?
Which, you know, so I've been looking into the red line and the blue line more and everything, and you know, the line that's going to go from Marina to the Alagbado axis is actually going to share the rails with the federal government standard gauge. So there are parts where it's going to be on the federal government tracks and everything, which is very sensible, because
but what happens? It's timing.
It's about timing and everything will be coordinated, like, you know. So they have their own parts where they're going to go off track to their own you know, end point and everything.
Because I'm guessing the intercity one is most likely going to be busier than interstate.
The interstate one, yeah. And again, also think about, you know, the distance from Alaba, you know, Badagry axis to...
Oh, that's where Alaba Market is?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, there's Alaba Rago, then there's the Alaba International. Rago is strictly for the... What do we call them now? Cattle. You get. Then Alaba International is for electronics and other allied
I just
stuff.
know Alaba Market. I never knew.
I've not been there in like a million years.
I never knew it was a bad.
I remember I went there with my dad a couple of times. And anytime we wanted to do some major acquisition of electrical stuff, it was Alaba.
It was Alaba, yeah.
So the thing is, we're talking about a 35-minute train ride. Now, if you've ever been to the Alagbado axis of Lagos/Ogun, then you go from that place to Ido in 35 minutes. So again, people need to understand that we will definitely look at the convenience and leave the cars behind and get on the train. Because someone also was raising some doubts like, oh, would Nigerians with this status thing want to leave their cars behind? Are they not leaving their cars now to go to Ibadan by rail? Are people not doing Warri Itakpe by rail? You get, and they have cars. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, so let's embrace this thing and criticize when we have to, but let it be objective and let it be something that they can also learn from.
Okay, it's still the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG, and we've been talking basically about transport and definitely started with the fuel scarcity
and noise
pollution and all those things. And I think we should move all the way from Lagos State to Oyo State, where another very interesting drama is brewing.
Tell me about it.
And this drama is between the Oyo State government and the Ibadan Electric distribution company. We know a few weeks ago the IBEDC changed management. The AMCON took over.
AMCON is the debt management
corporation. Asset management corporation of Nigeria. And so, of course, they were taken over because of debt that they did not pay back. And so, officially, they have new management. And yes, this morning we heard news about how power was cut off from the secretariat.
The
state secretariat.
Whoa.
And then you wonder, like, okay, is it new management that is causing this? Which, of course, anytime we know about new management in any company, there's always some shake-ups and all that. So is this part of the shake-up? And up to the extent that even the governor's office does not have power. Then, looks like in a way of retaliation, the Oyo State government shuts down some of their offices, saying that they are owing them some tax. According to IBEDC, Oyo State is owing about 450 million naira, which is supposed to be money for accumulated power consumption for about 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay, so this is 2022, 2019.
2019.
That was when government changed hands now.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so carry on.
And Oyo State government is saying that they are owing them tax, more like
owing them who now? That IBEDC?
IBEDC is owing Oyo State tax.
Okay, so you remember when we were small? I'm sure it happened when you were small too. I don't know if it happened to girls. But
exactly. Let me just put it also.
When we're playing football, and because I'm the owner of the ball, I dictate who plays for what team at any given time.
Oh, yeah.
And when it doesn't favor me, I pick the ball and I say,
I'm going home.
Game over, nobody's playing anymore. That is childish. You know why? Because that's what children do. And that's what I see here now. As soon as you painted this scenario, what I is a state government saying, oh, you cut our light, we'll sue your office.
So Oyo State government is claiming that the company is also owing them over 400 million naira.
Exactly what I'm saying. Do you have to wait for them to cut your light before you get your IGR in?
IGR?
So that's why I'm saying that, oh, you cut my light, I will sue your office.
If each person is owing each person, better.
You sit down and you deduct a source and say, okay, based on this, now you are owing us this amount, or now we are owing you. How come they didn't do that until new management came in and cut their light off?
Then I'm beginning to wonder, the old management, what were they doing?
They were afraid.
What were they looking at?
To collect their money.
450 million naira. Let's be honest.
Look what, there's something that doesn't get said a lot. Several government-owned facilities, parastatals,
don't pay bills.
They don't pay their utility bills.
They don't pay bills. I agree.
The National Stadium Sulere, there was a time it was off the grid for years. You know, the power holding company had to cut them off because they were not paying, and there were several businesses inside that place. So imagine how you get into the place. Everybody was running a generator. It was noisy. You know, you want to wonder like what's going on. Largely due to the fact that you're thinking that because you are owned by the federal government, you don't pay bills. Military establishments too.
It's not the first time I hear
police installations.
Government.
You get to hear about them owing. And you see, it should never happen. They have budgetary allocation.
And you know the very
they have maintenance funds and all of that.
They get all this money on a monthly, on a yearly basis.
Why would you not lead by example? Why would any government, even if the IBEDC is owing you, why are you owing them?
Why?
In fact, there should be a level where you're on credit
to pay you tax, and people should pay their bills and all that. Lead by example.
And you said something very, very, very smart. Fantastic option. You sit back, look at your consumption, and call the IBEDC to say, look, on the average every year, this secretariat consumes 150 million naira. Mm-hmm. I'm doing that because you said for 3 years and it's come to 450, right? So I'm just using that figure loosely. You say, oh, if our secretariat is consuming 150 million, let us strike a deal. Your annual
income tax,
fines and tax and whatever comes to this amount. So every year, this is what we will be paying you.
Deducted.
You get? So because what you are paying us is supposed to be maybe 80% of what we're supposed to pay you. The 20% difference is what we're going to be paying. So for the next
life is easy.
For the next 3 years, since we know that this thing is not really going up, if there's a need to adjust the tariff, we will adjust it. So at the beginning of every year, this is the amount we're going to be paying you, or at the end of every year. So if you add that, it becomes very easy.
Or better still, you don't want their power. Make
get off the grid.
Make it solar.
Get off the grid.
Get off the grid.
The Lagos State Secretariat is off the grid.
It's very
The
easy.
Lagos State Secretariat is off the national grid.
It's very, 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 very
Get
easy.
off the grid. You know? But this is what we're saying. You're not paying your bills. You're not creating your own power. Then they cut you off.
Embarrassing you.
Then you go
and
steal
them and say that they're owing you.
They say they are owing. And
you didn't realize they were owing you earlier.
You know the sad part? Their supporters will come now and say, yeah, nice one. If you think you can do this to the government, come. You people should have sense once in a while. This is a business. The power holding or power distribution companies are businesses.
They're businesses. They're run. We know how.
You expect me to pay my bills,
but you don't pay your bills.
But you don't pay yours.
In fact, for you, so that you want to collect your money, you pay that money, and then you now ask them, "Excuse me, where's our money?"
Okay, let you clap for yourself.
I don't know. I don't know why we do these things to ourselves.
On this one, Oyo State government no try, sha.
Nah. I don't think they did good. And like I always say, it's somebody somewhere that's supposed to be in charge of it. Let's be honest.
It's someone's job.
Governor
it's
cannot.
Not the governor. Is the governor that will be paying NEPA bill?
Somebody somewhere.
It's someone's job.
Is supposed to do this thing.
And you see, this is what we keep saying, and this is why Nigeria has not moved forward the way she should move. Mm-hmm. Your entire operations are grounded more or less now, or they'll be forced to run on generators.
And unfortunately, at a time
I've been to that secretary a couple of times, and I know that, like the ministry that I used to go to a lot, they had a generator for the office of the commissioner. He had his own generator that he bought. You get, they actually have to buy their own generators. So there's no central generating system, or it's not functioning. Maybe it's there and they've not been using it. So everybody has their generators. What we're saying in essence is that when this happens, it is not for you to go and seal the office. That's not the solution, to seal the office of the distribution company. It is for you to look inwards to say whose job was it to make sure this did not happen. Then you deal with the person, maybe fire the person or suspend the person. But you see what they've done now? They've used the power of government to go and oppress a private entity, and at the end of the day, those ones will be forced to come and beg to say, we are sorry, we'll connect you back.
The government shouldn't be,
and it will continue on and on. Who is going to bear the brunt of this now?
The money.
Who is supposed to be, even if it's a scapegoat, somebody must be brought out who was responsible for reconciling the accounts of the state secretariat and the utility bills of the secretariat with all the service providers. So this is just power. We're sure that they're not even owing other things. It's really sad, it's disheartening, and I want to absolve the governor, honestly, because you don't expect governor to be carrying NEPA bill. But it's also on him, because the people he has employed they are letting him down.
Yeah, they are. At the end of the day, it's a very, very sad thing. As an aside, I won't call it an aside. Just putting it out there. Today is the Federal Executive Council meeting, and President Muhammadu Buhari presided over this meeting today. We know that later in the day, then a lot of things that have come out of the meeting will definitely surface. But for now, all we know is that he presided over the meeting. Vice President was in there. A lot of other people were there, and of course, as usual, since for a while now it has been
the vice president,
a virtual vice president one, and it's been a virtual meeting.
At times it's hybrid. Some people are at the chambers, and
a lot of them are
on Zoom and all that.
Which we know as of today, let's be honest with ourselves, it's probably the safest way, and even cheaper.
Yeah,
it's most likely cheaper. People do.
I think what they need to do is even make it a permanent
thing. Everybody does not have to submit themselves. We know governors have to be there and all that. Governors from all over the
limit it to once a month. So imagine a state governor who has to go to Abuja every Tuesday.
You literally have to submit yourself to
Abuja. You know? Although I know there are other things that will come out of it, you're able to network and have meetings and stuff.
Yeah, but
all those things
can be done. All those things can be done.
You quickly pop into the meeting, virtually, then get back to
business of the day. Get back to business of the day. And so, still talking about president, the Minister of Public Affairs, who represented President Buhari at a 2-day retreat for senior police officers in Oyo, had come out to say that in the past 4 years, the federal government has recruited about 40,000 police officers.
Okay.
And it's surprising.
Very, very.
It's surprising because we know even as of today, let's assume these numbers are true, coming from a minister, and the minister that read a speech from the president, we're assuming it's true. We know how under-policed we're still.
Yes, we are.
And then you're not wondering.
Excuse me.
My question is, where were we before these 40,000?
And we're still under-policed anyway.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would say kudos to them for employing 40,000 over 4 years. I think the number is small. I don't know why.
Considering where we still are, it is small.
I think the number is small. But my real concern is not just with the number of policemen that are available or not available. It still has to do with the orientation of the Nigerian police force. It still has to do with the training that they get or don't get. I still have a fear. I have a feeling that we are not doing enough for these guys. Or maybe we need to look at the training manual of the police to find out what is wrong.
What is wrong with... And we know that everything starts from the recruitment process.
Exactly. So a lot of people complained when we had the SAS unit in the police, how they were so aggressive and they dressed like criminals at times. They were not wearing their uniforms. They wear shredded jeans. Just go online, you will see the pictures and the videos. They're there, right? I don't think that should happen except you're undercover.
Yeah.
But this is a guy wearing what we call mufti. When we were growing up, he was wearing mufti and he's not in a uniform. And he's performing the function that it should perform when you're fully clad in your police uniform. But it's not only that. It's their manner of approach. It's the way they handle things. It's the crude way of investigating things. It's the way, largely, a large chunk of the Nigerian police force needs to be retrained. I've met some amazing officers who you'll be shocked at, their command of English, their approach to things, and how calm and, professional they are. But those ones are in the minority. The bulk are the ones that's going to come, hey, it's either they're begging you or they're harassing you. There are very few who would come at you and say, during the lockdown, I met some because I was allowed to move around, when I was going back and forth and all. There's a particular group of policemen I met there, RRS men, and I spoke to them. I was in the car and I said, no, don't worry, just stay back and we have your ID cards. I gave them my ID card. The guy said, "Oh, is this the only one you have?" I said, "Yes, I have a couple." I brought the others. Okay, let me take this one. He took it. They went away. Came back. All right. Okay, you carry on, sir. I'm like, okay. Look at the way this guy spoke to me now.
You think
everything was.
You juxtapose that with the
Hey,
idea of the
aggression
aggression that you already met with,
you're
like, okay.
You're surprised that the as a policeman, you expect someone that you have shouted at to
be nice to you.
No, you see, at times aggression is only going to spur some more aggression. So on the flip side, the ones that are timid or nice, be careful. They're going somewhere. Officer.
They want something. They want some. Yeah.
No, now. I don't want to see policemen beg. So let's also look
because we all know that these things, there's no
welfare.
how they will get to do their jobs properly.
Exactly. So it's not for government to say. It's not enough to say, "Oh, we've employed 40,000 over 4 years." How much are you paying them? How well are you paying them? What living conditions do they have? Their barracks and all the apartments that they stay in, are they even what places where human beings should be staying? These are the issues. When was the last time they got promoted? Are they getting their promotions as at when due? All of these things come to bear. What kind of welfare package?
They're all human beings.
They're human beings.
And
what kind of welfare package do they have?
Security people, and it's sad because these people go out every day. Their job is such a very, I don't want to call it dangerous, but it is dangerous because you never know what's going to happen. You really never know what's going to happen. So they should be, they are one of our essential workers. We hear of people that have died. People die on a daily basis.
Even for wearing their uniform alone.
There's
in some certain quarters,
there's a target.
You are
on
a
them.
moving target.
Yeah, there's a target on you already and all.
During the NSAS protest, there's a video.
Oh yeah, I saw that video a few days ago. It's
gory.
It's gory.
It's painful.
And I don't know how human beings can treat another human being like that.
Exactly.
That's the part my mind can't wrap my head around.
You saw this mob virtually kill a policeman in uniform. They beat him, did all sorts of things to him. I heard the guy was killed, right?
Oh no! With that beating, I don't think he would have survived it.
Then you remember during the NSAS again, there was the
number of people that
were arrested in Ibadan who virtually cannibalized.
Oh yeah,
a
police officer.
Then the others. So we understand it's dangerous, it's high risk. They are bad cops and they are good cops, but the job to make it better is on you, me, and everybody.
And everybody. Remember, just earlier before we came on, that you were talking about, I think soldiers that died yesterday.
Yes, in Ihiala.
In an ambush. It's a very, 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 very sad one. That's kind of thing that they actually have to go through.
I won't call it an ambush, but yes, they were responding to a distress call, and I think one of the MRAPs actually got into an accident and it was fatal. At least one soldier died, are we talking about it now?
Yeah, since we're...
At least one soldier died, and then the others have been taken to the military hospital. But what was the distress call that they were responding to? Now, there's still a group of people who are enforcing a sit-at-home order.
They claim to be IPOB people or part of IPOB.
IPOB tells you that they don't know
about
it.
And IPOB says they don't know about it, but they're claiming that they are part of it.
There's a particular guy, AGK IPOB, and the guy is actually notorious, for
and that's the part where I don't get it. Is it that IPOB are lying, which, honestly, they're a proscribed group, so I don't see why they should even have a say in this matter in the first place.
So, but since they still do have a say one way or the other, they say that they don't know anything about those people or those things. And so these particular guys were enforcing another sit-at-home order and doing all sorts of stuff. The Nigerian army responded to it. And in the process of going there, they lost one or two soldiers. And at the time they got there, the AGK and his group actually engaged the Nigerian army.
See, if it's not that you are a terrorist, I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry I said it. If you are not a terrorist, why are you engaging the Nigerian army?
Exactly.
I'm lost. That's the
Exactly.
only explanation.
I wouldn't.
Do you get it?
Would you?
Like, they come like, I beg, day your day, let me make a day by day.
Oh God, no vex.
So if you
permission to breathe,
permission to fall out.
to breathe.
So if it's not like you are not trying, if you are a terrorist, why in the world are you shooting at soldiers? Why?
So it's actually sad that.
So there's no moral justification, there's no explanation for this behavior. So I'm sorry that I'm not even sorry that these people died. I'm not.
Sorry,
let me be
but not
honest.
sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Sorry, I am not sorry.
And then if you are trying to disturb people's livelihood, you are trying to put people in danger, people literally live in fear. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that you are dead. You are not useful
Oh, you talk to dead people now.
you are not useful to Nigeria as a whole. So
I thought that message was for the living.
it's time to be off.
All right, it's still the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. This is a show where we kick back, relax over drinks, and we talk music, sports, entertainment, politics, and everything
in between. So, let's move all the way. There's a very interesting bill in the House of Representatives. They're very, they seem to be really busy.
Yeah.
They seem to be very.
This is the 9th assembly, right?
Yes, the 9th assembly, and the House is talking about. There's a particular bill that has now passed the second reading, and it's a bill considering a 500 million naira fine and jail term for government officials going on unauthorized medical trips and using public funds.
Fantastic bill.
So, according to them, there
and it has passed second reading.
Yes, there is a National Health Act of 2014 that actually provides that this is kind of prohibited, but there is no fine. No, there is a law, but there is no
it's actually
fine.
signed into law.
Yes, 2014, but there is no fine or anything deterring anybody from doing whatever it is they like.
So they're taking it a notch higher.
So they're taking it a notch higher, and which I think that it is time. According to the House of Representatives, they're claiming that this is supposed to help every government official, whatever sector they're in, or whatever niche, whatever, how small or large you're in, so that you pay attention to the health matters around you.
Yeah. Picture a scenario where at the local government level, all the duly elected legislators at the local government level get treated only at their, health centers. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Except it's a secondary matter, then you get referred to a state hospital or a teaching hospital. Then it goes up to the State House of Assembly. That every House of Assembly member gets treated that way. You will not even say you don't know where the health center is. And when you get there, you will now see how great it is, or how dilapidated it is, or how just manageable it is. But won't that make you want to at least use your influence to fix it? Do you get what I'm saying? So you're not taking it a notch higher. House of Rep member must go back to your constituency to get treated, get treated in a local health center in Abuja, not private. Yeah.
That's it.
That way,
everybody tends to do the right thing.
But remember the case of a governor who had built a world-class health facility in his state, and I think he got into an accident and he was flown abroad.
I don't even think they even think about it.
Does it make any sense to you?
So how world class is that?
Exactly. Picture
now is that shows us that we need to actually investigate the world class
status of your facility. Picture someone who owns an hotel. You own an hotel in, say, Abuja. World class hotel. Trust me, when you're in Abuja,
you're staying
90% of the time you are going to stay there, if not 100% of the time. You might even have a permanent suite there, right?
Yeah.
But does it make any sense? You get to Abuja, you say my hotel is world class, and you like world class things. Then you go and stay in a hotel that is not world class. Is it possible? That's exactly what they should apply to
True.
to the hospitals to make sure that every state governor, every president, every vice president,
you can't even go to
all
another state.
your medical treatments must be here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
President Buhari has traveled a lot for medical treatment. His son
It's
got into
time
an
to stop.
accident. He was flown abroad. All of those
Time
things
to
should stop.
It's those time those things stop.
Everybody should get treated in Nigeria. Look at the capital flight alone. Look at the funds that are being, spent abroad. Do you know how fantastic it is for countries like India that Nigerians are getting ill and they're going there?
Yeah, going there. It's the amount of money they're making.
It's millions and millions of dollars for them. Medical tourism is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but if we develop, maybe this law will make it happen, or be the catalyst for it.
So talking about health, or talking about some health issues. Remember Sylvester Oromoni's story?
Yes.
And we know that the Dowen College issue, and we know that the coroner's inquest is still ongoing. Now, there's a story that popped up, and this was always my question from day one. A pathologist that had come out to talk about during the coroner's inquest is now talking about how, first things were the very first pathologist that did what they did on him, the autopsy they did on him was not done properly. He's talking about how when he opened the boy up, that the boy died of sepsis. But my question, which was my question also, was sepsis just doesn't happen.
How?
Something has to cause sepsis. He is now saying that they were supposed to do some toxicology, but that LASUTH did not have facility to conduct toxicology on his blood and the fluid, and they actually found some black substance in his stomach.
Okay. So back to the story that the young man was poisoned. But we'll wait until they have a report on that black substance, right?
That's it, whether it's poison or not. But that's the thing.
But I thought LASUTH had been performing autopsies and all of that.
Yeah, but they said that it's not about the autopsy now, it's about the toxicology.
No, but I thought they had a complete lab.
I'm not sure they
need to step up their game. But this is good. This is maybe going to be the turning point in the investigation into Sylvester.
Yes, I think so.
Death. And it can maybe upturn every other thing that has been said in the past. Because if there are traces of poison in Sylvester's system, then
there's a problem.
How did the poison get there? Because the talk of him carrying football injuries is definitely going to be in the mud and completely thrown away. We need to jettison that. But until this result comes out, we're going to be cautious about it.
So, now, another thing before we actually go is a lot of things very interesting. Very, very interesting. What would I say? A very interesting tip.
You went and saved the best for last.
Had surfaced a few hours ago, and put it like that. And it's a tape that is allegedly involving Oxlade,
the singer,
Oxlade, Nigerian singer.
Away.
Yeah, that
away,
one,
away,
and
away.
the Ojuju guy. And okay, for people that do not know, it's actually he's supposed to be his sex tape. Was allegedly his sex tape with a particular lady. And of course, it has been going off. Everybody has been talking about it, blah 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 blah. And there are a lot of reactions I've been getting. One of it is that how come it's not getting the kind of backlash someone like Tiwa Savage got when this happened to her a few weeks before. And then another issue is, why is there almost always an issue of a sex tape?
All right, interesting situation that we find ourselves. A couple of years ago, when we used to hear about sex tape, it was only in the US.
Yeah.
We hear about the Kardashians and this one and that one. Now it's a thing now that people are going to. So the first thing, like we said before, even during the Tiwa Savage saga, is why film anything that you're doing in the first place?
That's my question. Why is there
take
a camera?
Take the cameras out of
Why
the room.
is there a camera there at all?
Take the cameras out of the room. You know, because it could do more damage than good. Whatever you think you're doing with filming it, you want to watch it again. Look, if it gets into the wrong hands, like these things always do, this is one. Now, backlash. Who are we to judge who's going to react in a certain way or who doesn't react in a certain way? I don't get it when people say they should use the same energy for Tiwa. No. What I see is that people go with the bandwagon. Mm-hmm. The first set of reactions. And the first set of reactions, when that tape was released last night, you know, and if you check the way the Oxlade sex tape was released, someone was playing it back on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And another phone was recording
it. Yeah.
So it wasn't as if they actually leaked the video like that. But of course, whatever it is was leaked out. So people saw, you know, this video and everybody was like, oh man, the guy is going hard at it and blah, blah, blah. And the first set of people who reacted that way. That actually set the tone for people. People like this bandwagon thing, believe it or not. A lot of people, once they see that this is how the first set of people reacted, they just jump on it. In Tiwa's case, Tiwa preempted the release of that tape. Smart move by announcing,
there's this
on a global stage that there's a tape. And I think it was because of blackmail.
That was...
So there's a little bit of sentiments. People were angry. People were trying to protect Tiwa. That no matter what happens, look, it is what it is.
But there was also a lot of backlash with her.
A 42-year-old woman, and look, she's done what she's done. Yeah, she's not a girl. She's not a baby. She's an adult, and she's made her mistakes, and she was smart enough to own it. In Oxlade's case, he didn't see it coming.
No.
He didn't see the release coming. So the first...
He hasn't even said anything.
So people who saw it actually reacted like, oh my God, this guy was going, full on and blah, blah, blah. It was a joke to them. So I always say that react the way you want to react without really telling other people how to act. Mm-hmm. If you feel that what Oxlade has done is wrong, say it the way it is. If you feel you need to react. If you don't want to, then internalize it. You get. But we should not compare and say they did this to Tiwa and they didn't do this. No, they're two different individuals in two different situations. The bottom line is the only connecting factor is sex.
My own is at the end of the day. Can
we
stop
and
having recording devices?
Some people, a la Kim Kardashian, got a career from a sex tape.
Oh yeah.
And she's a billionaire today.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying you should get into it. I'm just saying that at times there's a way people use these things and become big on it, So at times you wonder, are these things even leaked? I'm sorry.
Is it done
conspiracy
purposely?
Theory? Mm-hmm. Or are you doing it purposely? Now, for all people who are celebrities, people who have a face and a voice and something to lose, can you stop recording yourselves in this act? What exactly is the plan? Even Rema, as young as Rema was, he said it in a song that I don't want to see myself on a blog. Or take your phone out or something. Switch. It's actually, I feel like woman. I think that's the song.
I think
there's a line there where he's talking about he doesn't want to see himself on a blog. So,
everybody.
And that was smart.
I think it's just
even if it's in a song.
Yeah.
You can use that as your creed.
Responsible. We need to be more responsible.
I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, why are you banshing or
no, please.
Do your thing, yeah?
We just don't want to see it. We just don't want to see
it. Use a condom.
We just don't want to see it.
Be safe. But why are you recording it? That's the question.
That's it.
It can get into the wrong hands.
Exactly.
And again, the internet never forgets.
Never does forget.
So at times, some of these things will resurface and hurt you.
So finally, we're already out of time, but just something I was going to say as I don't know if you saw a video of, I think it had been trending for a day or two about a child drinking a beer. Now the handle of that bear company had come out to say that it's also very disturbing, because I think it's very, very disturbing.
They don't condone such now. It's only for adults.
It's completely. I think that it's our way of, my own parting shot is that as much as we want to be nice to our children and want to be their friends and all that, you're their parent.
You think giving a 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old alcohol is a way of being their friend?
It's not. There's no part
you
of
need to have your brain checked. Whoever it is that this woman, and she was dancing like it was normal, and you could see the boy was already getting intoxicated at this age. And you know what tripped me the most? The way he held onto that bottle, like, and he didn't break or fall. Like he was, that it's not his first time. It wasn't the first time. It wasn't the first time. It's a very, very sad His brain is not that developed. His organs are not that developed.
They wouldn't affect his development at all in the first place. Anyway, that's all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow, but you could catch this on YouTube on Radio NG, and you could also catch this repeat of this at 7 p.m. West African time on boomradio.com.ng. Have a beautiful